Well, welcome back everyone. Welcome this time to the Holderness coast. We're fishing a fairly easy mark today. We're on Withernsea south side. So just to that side of us we've got the lifeboat station. It's a popular little mark, quite an easy one. You can park at the top of the ramp. The reason for that is I've got my dad with me today. So he's over there just getting set up. I've already got baits in the water. It's just gone 6 AM. I can just see the sky starting to turn red behind me, so hopefully we're not long before the sun starts coming up. It's at 8:30 high water. Well, I'm going to level with you folks. I can't say that I'm overly hopeful for today's session. The Holderness coast is still fishing pretty slow, in all honesty. Real mixed bags coming out. The occasional nice fish, but if you get into the fish, it tends to be whiting. There's a lot of haddock reported as well, so a new species for me if we get into them. Oh, actually, it's a nice little bite. Still a lot of reports of weed. In fact, I think that might have gone slap. Bear with. The setup I'm using today is Akios Fury FX420s. Perfect rods for this kind of coast. It's nice, clean, sandy ground. So yeah, these rods are perfect for any session. For terminal tackle, on one rod, I'm using a loop rig. On that at the minute, on the top pennel hook, I've got a single small squid. And on the bottom hook, I've got some ragworm. And on the other rod, I've got a pulley pennel. And at the minute, I've got a whole whiting out on there from last week's session on the Bristol Channel. The chances of getting into something big today, few and far between, but I'm going to stick a big bait out there on one rod and hope for the best. And then the other rod with the loop rig, I'm going to use just for scratching around a little bit. Oh wow, I've just missed a really good bite. That's my fault. I was messing about trying to get the camera on. Well, it's not my fault, it's your fault. Messing about trying to get the camera on. It's always the risky run when you're trying to film for YouTube and things like that. You've got two options really. You can option A, try and get the exciting bit where you're playing a fish and trying to land a fish. Option B, you can land the fish and then get some footage after the fact. This time I went for option A and it's not paid off. Right, well that rod that I had the good knock on won't hold bottom anymore. It's just moving around, so bring it in, change the baits. It's probably only been out there 10 or 15 minutes or so. But give us a chance to figure out what the weed situation's like as well. But I'm pleased to report little to no weed. So that's a good sign. Hopefully it means we can keep baits in the water. However, that rig has come back tangled to high heaven. Gone. Oh, and I've got a bite on the other rod. Hey, just like that. Alright. That's not piss about, eh? Still there. Now, I wonder if I just got the lines crossed maybe. It's been a very steady morning so far. A very steady morning. It's just turned 8 o'clock, so I think we've probably got about 20 minutes to high water. Just changed the baits over. So that rod that I've just sent out, it's that big pulley pennel rig on there. I've put a full prawn on there now, king prawn. Sent that out as far as I can get it. Dad's fishing in close. Pretty sure I just had a good knock on that that little loop rig. So yeah, I've for the hour and a half, almost 2 hours we've been fishing, we've had 3 bites between 4 rods. Oh, every time. Every time. I was literally just putting the camera down then. Just putting the camera down. And this rod started going. So I hit record quickly and picked the rod up, all in one movement. I've missed it again. Yeah, nice little dab.
Yeah. Well, come on, what are you messing about at?
I'm just waiting for the big ones, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can't let him beat me. Never hear the bloody end of it. So these baits have been out for about 15 minutes, so I'm going to get them swapped again. In fact, they've been out for 8 minutes because I've just looked on the GoPro recording. I'm going to bring them in because that loop rig, last 2 casts have come back completely tangled up. So if it comes back this time tangled up, I think it's time to change it, bin it off. Tangled up again, time to go. Let me show you this. So I think what's happening is in the cast, this excess line is getting tangled up. It's tangling up with my panel at the top. I might try actually is cutting some of this snood down a little bit. Shortening that up to maybe 12 inches, something like that. Yeah, let's do that. So we have then a lot less line. Hopefully that's going to stop us tangling up quite so much. So let's stick another worm on there and go and have a go. Already, to me anyway, looks a lot better. Looks a lot less likely to tangle. So let's send that out. Like I say, if it gets tangled up this time, it's going in the bin. Oh, Dad's got a good bite. That is a good bite. Get into it then. Stand looking at it. I don't know if I turned the camera around quick enough, but Dad had a good thumping bite on there, and he stood there going, "Hey, look at this! Look at this!" It doesn't do it to bite it. Cracks me up every time he does it. Oh, look at this! I've got a bite. Go into it. Go fish then. All right then. Let's go up and over there. See how much shit he gives me on the way over here. What you got?
A fish.
Go on then, identify it.
Well, it's a fish. It's wet, it's sloppy, and it's well hooked.
A good little bite that.
Yeah.
Sat on circle up.
Yeah. Not a bad little fish, is it?
No. Go on then, where is it?
Pull it.
Add it.
Add it.
The size of that dorsal fin there.
Ah, right.
Yeah. Not bad. Not a bad little fish.
No.
Go on then, we'll get some pictures and you can get it back. Now one thing I will say is that Dad is casting a lot closer in than me. A lot closer in than me. So, I don't know if you'll be able to see, Dad's probably casting, well, I'm hitting the groins, the end of the breakwaters out there, just slightly past them. And Dad's probably about halfway, if that.
Have you seen what my handsome grandson has brought me for my birthday? What a boy he is.
Those who say you've got to cast 200-300 yards to get into the fish, or you need casting lessons or whatever, you definitely don't. We've proved this time and time again, where I'm fishing with my Dad, we always opt for, because I can cast further, I cast a distance and my Dad fishes close in. Oh, that's a good bite. Oh, again, a good bite that came to nothing. But yeah, what I'm trying to say essentially is, if you're thinking of getting into sea fishing, don't think you need £1,000 rods and to be able to cast to the moon and back. Just come down and have a go. Like I say, my dad's out fishing me at the minute. Well, I'll try and get it on video in a minute where he's casting to, but he's not casting far at all. He's got decent rods. He's got Akios rods. I think he's fishing with a Hellraiser and a Airspeed today. But yeah, so far I'm having my arse kicked. I don't mind it. It's good to be out fishing with my dad. Well, I say I don't mind it. I say I don't mind it until the ride home later on where he's chirping away all the way home. That'll get on my wick. Nada, nothing. But the good news is, it's come back completely tangle free, look. All doing exactly what it should be doing. And it looks like squid is the bait that's been taking the hammer again. So let's get this rebaited and send it back out there. Right, so baiting up then. You'll see me do this 101 times, but every now and again I'll get somebody ask me to show them how they do it, how I do it. Take tiny little squid, because these are small baits I'm using, through the bottom of the tube, in between the eyes, bring it round. I use a bait mate tool. There's loads of different options you can use. Bait mate tools, bait needles, I've got both. New tube of elastic again, because I finished that ANOVA one within about a month. Lash it up, lash it up, lash it up. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Slide your bait off. It should sit nice and neat like that. And then I just loop the hook, top circle hook through the top of the squid tube. Take that, just pull it down so it sits nice and proud like that. And there you have it. One lovely little squid bait. Just like that. Well, we'll keep it quiet because don't want him thinking I'm on the comeback, but there we go. I'm off the mark. I'll turn him that way around because frankly it looks like he's been in the wars a little bit. Right, well, since I were off the mark, I thought I'd use that bait mate tool. And I've just whipped up a lovely looking, if I do say so myself, half a cartwing and baby squid wrap. I'm going to get that out there, see if there's some big old cod out there. But every now and again he walks back as if to say the rod's pulling back. Well, I've come down here thinking that was pulling back on you.
I don't know how far I cast it out on bollocks.
Well, we're back in the van. We've just been and had some breakfast at a local cafe. Dad's reward for trashing me today. I'll let him pay for breakfast. So, yeah. What did you end up with? Four dabs?
4 dabs.
2 haddock.
Haddock.
4 dabs and haddock, and I had that one. So, yeah. We've just been sat here discussing it.
Well, as they say, the day ain't over yet.
No, it's not over yet. The question is what we do with the rest of the day. So, like I say, the plan was to go down Kilnsea and fish down there into the evening. We could probably fish that from low all the way up and over high water. But we were just debating whether we head over and go get comfy on the Humber wall over on the river. I'm confident we could catch fish on either mark. The difference being, I think I'm going to go out and say the better stamper fish will probably come from the river. So is that where we're heading?
Especially on my rod.
Oh,
Rods.
Right. Welcome to tonight's session, coming to you guys from the south bank of the River Humber. We've been set up for about half an hour now, maybe a little bit longer. But I've been having a bit of fun, so I'll roll on some clips now from earlier on. Well, once again, the GoPro's chosen not to record audio for some strange reason, so I'll voice it over. If you've been with the channel for a while, you'll know at low water I like to go and have a bit of a scavenge round. We turned up to this mark on the Humber wall just before low water, and as we were setting up, I cast the first rods out, you could clearly see some shock leader lying on the ground. So I got both rods set up, sent out. I said to my dad, I'm going to try and recover the weight that was attached to it. As I followed that stray little bit of shock leader down, no way was I prepared for what I would actually find. So I nipped back, grabbed the camera, because I knew if I didn't record this, everybody's going to call bullshit. So in my hand now, you can see the green shock leader, which I could see lying on the wall. And actually, the complete clusterfuck that somebody must have had. On the end of there is about 7 different rigs, 7 leads. And as I follow this back up, you just keep finding more and more rigs as we go. So there's 7 leads. There's another one, another bundle right here, look, with another 4 rigs on it. And then as we make our way further up, detaching each of these grip leads as we go, trying not to get a random hook in my hand, there's yet another bundle of rigs up in this rock pool with a load more shock leader and weights attached. And then last but not least, the final rig right up and in amongst the rocks on the breakwater. There's two more rigs and a whiting. Took my haul back to the van. I'd already got the rods out, I'd already got baits in the water, so I sat down and had half an hour just stripping everything back, seeing what I could salvage. So there we have it, all wrapped up. We've got 2, 4, 5 5-ounce leads, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 6-ounce leads, 2, 4, 7-ounce leads. So does that take us to 18 leads? 18 leads and a few assorted rig bits and pieces, and then some relatively fresh whiting to use as bait later on. So 2 key messages there for you really. Please, if you're fishing rough ground, try and make sure you've got the gear to recover. So use rotten bottoms on marks like this. Like I said earlier, I've left my baits out there until that water reaches that bottom ledge, so that I know I can lift up, get the baits in the air, get the weight up in the water and skim it across the top till I can retrieve it. Try and take your rubbish home with you. Those leads have probably been out there. I mean, looking at the state of that whiting, I'd say they're possibly last night's high tide. But if anybody's come out here and lost 16 leads in one session, you've had a bad session, haven't you, really? And right on tap.
Put a little bit of cold water in it.
All right, tap.
But it is hot.
Yeah, all right. A little bit of cold water because I'm sensitive, you see. I'm chuffed with my little haul, to be honest. And also, for those of you who are worrying, I've got a bag full of rubbish as well. So all that line, I've been as careful as possible. Any little offcuts, bits and pieces. In fact, there's another bit there, look. Somebody's left behind. So once again on this mark, I'm having to clean up, which is a shame, but at least that's all not now going to go back into the water system, tangle fish up, you know, all that sort of stuff. So there we go. Believe it or not, it's about 4 o'clock. High tide tonight is about 9:45, 10 o'clock. We're in Dad's van, so we've got the night heater, we've got the camping stove, we're going to get some dinner on. Dad's just brought me a brew. We're going to have a fairly chilled out, relaxed session. Well, both of these baits have been out there for well over an hour now, and as you can see, they've come back pretty much. I mean, that worm's just washed out. That squid, it's completely untouched. So let's get them reloaded, send them out there. The water's just at the bottom of the bank, so hopefully we'll start to see some action. So going out on the loop rig next, the bottom hook, I've just got 2 fresh blacks, and then I've cut myself a nice little back strap, if you will, off that whiting. There he is, look. And I've just set that up on the panel at the top. As they say, try and max the hatch. So if there is a big old cod out there after some nice fresh whiting, well, it might be a day aged, but you know what I mean. And then just because we're getting to that kind of time of tide where you never know, lightning could strike twice, on there I've just put 2 of those fresh yellowtails from Scott, Squids in bait and tackle. Now if you are ever struggling for bites, the 2 top tips I can give you is 1, drop your kecks and go to the toilet. Because I guarantee you that as soon as those trousers hit your ankles, you will get a good bite. Or the other option you've got, get your dinner on the go. Right, well, my dinner's ready. So where are those bites at? I mean, you're making it look heavy.
I reckon it's stuck.
There you go, it's up. Wind. That's it. Keep working it like that. I thought you were pumping the gym and Mr. Muscles and whatnot these days. You never know, you might have just found another 16 leads. Put your right hand above the reel. That's it. Put the butt a little bit lower into your groin. Go on then, reel down. Yeah, I'll cop for that. Right, there's your other line. I think you have snagged up on something. Just give it a load of line and see if the fish brings it out of it. I mean, you can see how quick that tide's licking past.
Yeah.
So it might have pulled you into a snag. In fact, my rod looks like it's about to head over. I'll tell you what, let me go and set my clutch, give that plenty of line, just leave that like that. Yeah, and then just wait. If you feel any big like knocks, tighten your drag down, strike into it, see if you can get it free. Right, well, it's turned into an absolute batshit 5 minutes, but on that whole yellowtail, I'm off the mark. That could well be the same fish with that gammy eye that I caught at Withernsea earlier on. But I'm off the mark. I've managed to bring both of my rods in. I've got Dad's rod in as well. I'm going to get this fish back. Well, I'm off the mark. You got that one free yet? A little whiting. So, see you later, pal. That's that one back. Oh, you don't look too healthy. There we go, he's gone. Right, let's go and see if we can't sort that out. What an absolute bonkers couple of minutes. Back on my head you go.
Still struggling. Still on.
Still kicking?
Yeah. Is there no lines in the water?
No, everything else is out, so you're clear. You're now free to walk about the cabin. I'm afraid to say it.
Oh.
If walking up and down hasn't done it.
You need to let it go.
Well, not let it go, you're going to have to give it some stick and see what gives first.
Go!
There you go, go, right, wind. Just keep winding. Try and get that rod tip up a little bit more if you can. That's it. Go on. Wind. Schnell.
I'll fucking snell you in a minute. Hey, what's this? Something on the end.
Nice little codling.
Fucking hell, all that for that.
Hey, that's not a bad little fish, that. That's £1.5.
I think that's going home.
Well, not if you're going to insult him. Give him a kiss and send him back. Well, that's not a bad little fish.
I tell you what, I'll insult him on a plate with some chips.
Alright, come on then. Let's get him back.
Bloody hell, that's took some.
You did well though, stuck at it.
So that took about 20 minutes.
Something like that. Farting about. I'm not sure how much of it I got on GoPro, because frankly the GoPro's bloody on and off and on and off and off and on. But pandemonium, absolute pandemonium. Alright, sit him on there. Yeah, he's a nice little cod, he is. I'm not sure how much you're going to see in the GoPro, but that is a lovely little cod. No, I wanted you the other way, mate. What are you doing? Sit down. Yeah, stunning little cod. We'll get some better pictures of him in a minute. I'd give you probably £2 for that, I reckon. Alright then, the moment of truth. Let's find out what he weighs. Stick that under his gills. Go on then, let go. What do you reckon?
Just short £2. 190.
Yeah, 1.9. So it's at about £13, 14 ounce.
Something like that.
Alright, pan size.
Right.
Spot on. Hold him up then for the camera, switch your beacon off.
How's about that?
There you go. Cracking little cod.
Right, you've got to catch me up now.
Oh,
I bet that gets deleted off the video.
no, you watch this. Well, that was an absolute balmy 20 minutes to half an hour. So what we've decided to do is we've retired one rod each, so we're now fishing with one rod each. So what we've done is the rods we're not fishing with, they were stuck at the back of the van where I was fishing from. So what we're going to do is fish one rod a piece at the front of the van where there's a little sluice gate. It's easier to hop over, get onto the sea wall, and then hopefully we won't end up in that shenanigans again. Like I say, ideally it's only going to be for an hour or so as the tide's flooding in. We are now at 7:30, so we've got probably about 2.5 hours till high water. So hopefully in an hour's time or so things will start to die back down again, and we should be able to get both rods back out, fish a couple hours over high. Every time Dad climbs over that wall, sounds like he's dying. Thought he was having a heart attack earlier, weren't he? We were just going to cast. Like I say, it might be a tough hour or so, so we'll fish with one rod, let the worst bit of the flood get over and done with. But hopefully no more than an hour and we'll be back up to 2 rods again. Right, well, tide's eased off a little bit, so we are back up to full strength, 2 rods out. Move you over here slightly. I think we could well have a little whiting on this rod. So I'll try not to block your view of the other rod, just in case that one kicks off. Oh, and the other rod's going now as well. So this could be the point where it starts to really kick on. While they're establishing a little bit, let me bring you around here and show you. Hopefully I got some footage earlier of where the water came to. That is where the water's up to now, so right down underneath us. So what we do have to be careful of is about there somewhere is where that rock ledge is. So what we'll have to do is, if we hook into something decent, is we'll have to make sure that we get it up. Oh God, that's a really not a very flattering look, is it? I'll jab of the hook. But yeah, what was I saying? Come on, idiot, think. Yeah, if we hook into something decent, what we'll have to do is get the rod tips up and wind like buggery to try and make sure we get it up and over that ledge. There's probably about, I'd say, a good 4 foot of water over that ledge now. So as long as we don't get, you know, a double figure cod that's going to scrap us all the way to the floor, we should be all right. If we do get that double figure cod, I'll be quite happy to wade out, get on top of them rocks and wrestle it in myself. Come on, fishy, that's a better bite. That's a better bite. That is a better bite. I think that might be on. Oh, that's on. That is on. That's a better fish. It's up on the top. Got it over that ledge. What we got? What we got? It's doing backflips. It's doing somersaults. It can only mean one thing. It's a whiting. Nice little whiting. And get him straight back, get the baits in the water. Quick snap bite. Oh yeah, fish on. Tell you what, Dad, the comeback's on. You best pull your finger out.
Black's on, just black.
Blacks and squid. Yeah. Oh. Come here, mate. I'll send you back. In fact, if they're coming on the feed, let's switch that off. Oh, that's another bite. I'm going to keep him actually. And I've got another bite on this other rod. Oh, it's all kicking off now. Have I got another bite? It's still there. Did you see that? Am I making it up? I don't know, maybe I'm losing my marbles. That guy there will make some nice little fish cakes. So I think I'm going to keep him and whack him on the head, especially if they're coming on the feed now. Get 4 or 5 of those, some nice little fish fingers. Smack, spot on. Just very quickly show you this carp bait before I get it sent. Lovely big slab of carp, and strapped onto there is just a little coral stick. You can see both hooks nice and proud there. There should be no self-respecting cod that can ever turn that down. No. Oh, how did I miss that? Oh, now that one's going. Tell you, it's going bonkers around here tonight now. I've got a whole cart wing on that one, so it needs to be a good pull down that.
What, that red one?
Yeah. Whole cart wing and a coral stick. Oh, God's sake. See, if I put this rod down, that one stops. And then this one will start. Well, I think it's safe to say the fish are definitely on the feed. So yeah, it's turning into a frantic last hour of the tide. Watching. So I didn't even have to pick that up then, and it stopped. Well, there's my loop rig, and there's somebody else's rig with another 7-ounce lead on it. Oh well, that's the end of the session, and my last session before Christmas, so I hope you all have a good Christmas. Good session, wasn't it, really? Yeah. Oh, good session for you anyway. From me and mine, or us and ours. To you and yours, Merry Christmas. Hope you have a good one, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with. Yeah, good little session. I definitely left too many fish in the water today, so I'll have to have a think about what went wrong there. But what do we have? Whiting, haddock, dabs and codling. Yeah. So yeah, not a bad little day's fishing. It's just coming up to midnight, so hopefully we'll be home for possibly 1:30. Well, I will.
I'll be home just about in time to go to work.
Yeah. So yeah, what'll that be? 22 hours I'll have been up. So a long old day, but an enjoyable one. We fished it pretty hard, and yeah, who knows? It might have been different if we'd stayed on the coast. It might have been even worse if we'd have stayed on the coast. You never know, that's fishing for you. And on that note, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and until next time, tight lines.